All right, guys, today we'll be going over a back attack system in the gi. Okay, so Nate's going to be down. So a lot of times I think in the gi, the number one submission is the collar choke from the back. But I think what I see, at least watching a lot of matches or even in the training room, is when the collar choke doesn't work, we don't really know where to chain our attacks. And that's why having a system is important, right? So we can go through all of the attacks and just keep chaining and chaining until we get one. Because the truth is, when you go against someone better, it's going to take more than one attack to get. Okay, so we're going to be here starting on the back. Now, ideally, we're going to be taking the back in transition. But ideally, to attack the collar choke, we want to fall on the weak side, which is the side of the underhook. Okay, the reason why is because it's going to pin my opponent's defensive hand. Not completely, but it'll limit Nate's mobility. So let's look at this. Okay, I'm going to fall to the weak side. I'm going to step on the hip, get that belt line hook, and we fall. Okay, now notice how I'm falling on Nate's defensive hand. That's the hand he wants to block my choke with, right? Now it's a lot easier for me when I fall to this side to trap the wrist. Okay, so basic collar choke, we want to try to trap that defensive hand first so we can grip the collar. Okay, now the cool thing about the gi is that it doesn't take, right, I don't have to get rear naked, right? I can just make a grip to the lapel. Now once I get that grip, okay, I'm going to stay ear to ear and take my time to pull and zip that choke tight as possible. So even if Nate is grabbing that hand, okay, I just keep pulling down on that collar to get it closer here, okay? Now, once I establish that grip the tightest I can get, I'm going to make my grip to the cross collar. I'm going to step on the hip to shoot his hip down. As I throw my leg over the shoulder, okay, lock my feet and then cast my wrist here. Cast the wrist, okay? So one more time, basic collar choke. This one everyone has to know, okay? So we fall to the weak side. Belt line hook, okay, and right away I'm looking to control that wrist. Hand's probably going to come up to defend the choking hand, and I just use that to control the bottom. Now I can grab the collar. Nate tries to grab it with his right hand, okay, so I release the wrist, zip, 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 adjust, grab the second collar. Now I'm stepping down on the hip. This is an important step because right here it's too hard to get my leg over the shoulder. I'm going to step on his hip, okay, to get my leg over the shoulder, lock my feet, and we cast. Very easy finish, okay? So that's the basic attack. I think that's the first one you should be looking for. It's the highest percentage in the gi, okay? Now let's talk about, we'll rotate just a little bit here. Okay, let's talk about what happens when my opponent is defensively responsible. So Nate gets that hand in, okay? So if he gets the hand into the face, it's going to be super hard for me to get the collar, right? And I see this a lot too, mostly amongst beginners, is they get the collar and they still go for the choke, not realizing that that hand is going to prevent them from finishing, right? Or prevent you from finishing. So rather than going for the choke over and over again, all I'm going to do is double up on that wrist, okay, with a Kimura grip over the head. Okay, now from here, I'm going to take the same approach. I'm going to step on his hip as I zip tie, okay, the Kimura grip right here. Zip tie, step on the hip, leg comes over the shoulder here. Now from here, okay, I'm going to chop down with my heel to try to bring his back to the mat so I could bring my elbow over and then I lock my feet, okay? Now once I get to this position, we have three options, okay? The main option here, ideally I'd like to get Nate's back to the floor. So I'm going to keep zip tying that Kimura grip, okay, and I'm going to chop my heels to my butt. So I'm going to hamstring curl with my feet crossed. So look, I'm going to hamstring curl down so I can get the leg over the head. Okay, now let's rotate this way. Here. So I have my legs here. The idea is hamstring curl. As soon as I feel the momentum going back, I swing that leg over the head, and then I sit up here. Okay. Now, once I get to this position, important when we finish that arm bar here, okay, I'm engaging my legs, so bringing my heels to my butt, okay, and I'm pulling my shoulder blades back to stay attached to the tricep, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to pull straight back, okay? I'm going to lean to the side. So I'm going to attach my chest to Nate's tricep, hamstring curl tight, engage those legs. Look, I'm going to lean towards Nate's head, okay? Now from here, if that doesn't break the grip already, you can use the leg that's over the body, okay, to chop down, or you can step on the bicep here, okay, but either way, I break the grip, fall towards the head first, then we go straight back, and we finish that arm lock here. Okay, so that's the number one option. We can just call that like the gift wrap shoulder lock right there. Okay, so again, I fall to this side. Okay, Nate's defensively responsible. He gets that hand in. I can't get the choke. So keep this grip, zip tie, step on the hip, push the hip down, leg over the shoulder, elbow over the head, lock the legs. Okay, so first option is we try to get the back to the mat, swing the leg over armbar. Second option, okay, what's going to happen is Nate is probably going to start driving his way up. Okay, so if I'm in this position here where I'm crunched and I feel like I can't swing my leg over the head, all I'm going to do is I'm going to use my right hand, okay, to pin his hand to his chest, okay, as I chop down and just try to get my leg over the hand here. Okay, now from here, I just have to catch my leg here. Okay, now obviously if you have longer legs, this one probably favors you. But even if you have short legs like myself, as long as you get that hand around the head here, I'm going to continue to hip escape, okay? And I'm going to keep trying to chop him down. Now, if Nate keeps turning into me like he is, he's going to turn into a triangle. If he stays on his side, I'll be able to chop him down, and we can finish the arm lock here. Okay, let's do that again. So that grip, okay, here. Okay, I'm here. Nate's starting to drive in. Okay, so I just use my hand. Look, this hand's controlling the wrist still. Push it out of the way and I lock. Okay, now just keep a hold of that wrist. Nate only has two directions. If he's still driving into me, okay, allow him to rotate right into a triangle. Okay. If he doesn't move and he just kind of like tries to sink down, okay, I just chop down and we can finish the arm lock there. Okay. Last one now from that grip. I'm here, right? Have the leg over, elbow over the head. Okay. Now, first option, right? We chop down, leg over the head, arm bar. Second option, we go leg over the shoulder, triangle. Third option, Nate is able to get his shoulder and his arm through. So he drives his weight on top of me and he gets his body through here. Okay. Now this is a critical option here. Okay. So instead of still trying to chase that leg, what I want to do is I want to bring my knee underneath his armpit and then take my hand out and then come double underhooks here. Okay, now this one is a little bit of a newer approach. I don't think a lot of people show this. Okay, so I'm going to get a 2-on-1 grip. Now a lot of you probably think, oh, why would I do that? I don't have an arm over the shoulder to attack the neck. And the reason why I'm going here is not to attack Nate's neck just yet. It's to get him belly down. Okay. So from here, look, I have the 2-on-1 grip. I'm going to hamstring curl on this top leg here. What this is going to do, it's going to prevent Nate from swinging his hips side to side, and it's going to give him one option, which is to drive his weight up. Now, as he drives his weight up, look at my right foot. I'm chopping down. I'm going to weave it under. I'm going to let him continue to drive his foot up. I release that hook, scissor my legs. 1 second, lost the mic. Okay, here. Scissor my legs. Now take a look at this. I'm going to keep that 2-on-1. Watch how I slide my knee up and settle my hips back here. Okay, now we're in this position here. Okay, now this is one that you're going to have to try. You're going to look at this right away and probably think like, there's no way that works. Okay, but the key thing here is I'm sitting my weight back onto my heels to my butt. Okay, or my butt to my heels, excuse me. Okay. Now look at this control alone. Okay, if I pin Nate's hips, Nate, try to turn your back to the mat. He can't twist because I'm sitting on his legs. Okay, now you add that with the wrist control. Try to rotate Nate. Even worse. Now you add that with chest pressure here. Okay, he's not going to go anywhere. Okay, now the only problem I face here is this hand. So from this position, all I'm going to look to do is break that post for a split second. Okay, so I can drive my knee to the mat and my hand to the mat as I make that grip to the collar. You guys see that here? So I'm sitting here. Sitting back, I take my time to control, right? I really roll that wrist in. I sit back so he can't roll to his back. Now I use my chest to roll him forward. He's posting that hand, right? If he doesn't post, he's just allowing himself to go belly down. Okay, so here, look, I'm gonna rotate my hand inside. Okay, break that post. Now, as soon as I do that, take a look at my right leg. Is gonna come over the top, head's gonna go to the mat, and then hand makes its grip to the collar. Okay, now from here, I'm gonna slide my left knee to my shoulder and chair sit him up. Okay, can we scoot over a little bit? Chair sit him up, and then I'm gonna take him to the strong side where I double up on the collar here. Okay, now sometimes you might be able to get the choke here, okay, but someone good is gonna try to roll. Okay, Nate's gonna fight my hooks. He's gonna try to roll forward. I'll release. And chair sit again. Belt line hook, resit, and look at where we are. Back to square one. Done. Okay, cannot keep this. Don't worry, guys, we'll show that again. Okay, from the very top. Okay, I got to this position. Remember, we're trying to arm bar. We try to triangle, but Nate got his hand through. I'm like, damn. Okay, now look. Use your knee, release, get the 2-on-1 grip here. Let's rotate. Yeah, see this 2-on-1 grip. Okay, now top hook, hamstring curl. Okay, hamstring curl, try to move, Nate. See, he can't move side to side, so he's gonna try to go up. Hook the bottom leg, scissor my legs as I build up, and I sit my weight back. Okay, if you guys wanna be real technical, look at my legs here. You can lock a triangle and use that to move the foot out of the way. You'll see this position a lot more in MMA, right? Like guys will start punching here, okay? Not as much in jiu-jitsu, but you can, it's very effective, okay? Sit back here. Roll my chest on top, break the post, knee comes over, hand goes to the neck, head to the floor. Now I'm gonna slide my knee up, chair sit, look at how I stay tight. Okay, and I'm gonna take him to the side, let's rotate just for the sake of the camera. Here, okay? Now I can release that wrist, grab the collar, and you can start casting. Okay, if you get it, cool. Someone better, probably not. You release. Okay, you release it. You mount the hips, re-chair sit, and then look, we're back to that very first collar choke here. And we finish. Okay? All right, guys, so that's our basic back attack system I like to show the students in the fundamentals class. Give it a try, especially that last one. I think a lot of people don't think about it. Give it a try, comment, let us know how it works for you guys. Thank you.